Say hello to Greg Heff. Greg grew up on a small farm outside of Lumbridge with his dad, Fred. Greg and Fred didn't get along. After his mother died, Greg took an interest in writing in his diary. His dad thought it was weird. Anyway, after saving up enough money from killing goblins that would spawn in his bedroom, Greg decided to run away from home and board a ship to the Great Arceus Library. A place filled with thousands of diaries. Right, a place filled with thousands of journals from brave adventurers of the past. Here, Greg finally felt like he could be himself, surrounded by what he loved, and far away from his judgmental father in Lumbridge. Until he was relentlessly bullied for keeping a diary. Even his so-he-thought serious girlfriend was embarrassed to be with him. Now, Greg is alone in the vast world of Gielinor with nothing to call his own except his diary. This is the diary of a wimpy adventurer. So what exactly is going on with Greg? My goal with Greg is to complete every diary task in old school RuneScape. Easy, right? Well, not exactly. I'm trying to complete these tasks in order from easy to elite without doing any tasks in a higher tier until I complete every task in every region at the lowest tier. This means no completing any medium tasks until all the easy tasks are done, no hards before all mediums, you get the gist. Why is this challenging? Well, at first glance it doesn't really seem too difficult, but small things like teleporting to Varrock, Camelot, or Ardoine won't be possible until I complete all the easy tasks in every region. At least, not the traditional way. This also means I won't be able to do things like spend 14 hours at the Canifis rooftops to get a graceful outfit or even chop willow trees in Draenor until I unlock medium tasks. By playing by these simple rules, I'm going to be costing myself quite a bit of efficiency, but I've never really challenged myself to anything like this in RuneScape, and I've just ran around the game doing whatever sounded interesting at the time. I've also never really gotten to the endgame of RuneScape. I've always just gotten complacent by the time my stats are in the 60s or 70s. Hopefully by completing this challenge, I'll increase my game knowledge and try things out that I've never even done before in this game. And to cap it all off, I'll be doing this on an Iron Man, so no trading and no grand exchange. Let's go. The first thing I did was look through some of the task logs in the free-to-play regions to see which tasks I could knock out relatively quickly before working towards tasks that would take a bit more time. My first major goal for the account was to get an Artie cape so I had easier access to that part of the map. But first I pickpocketed a man and asked Hans how old I was after 26 minutes of being in game to complete 2 easy Lumbridge tasks. Next I started Cook's assistant. Not because it was a requirement for one of the other tasks, but I just thought that's what everyone does first on their new account. Anyway, after running around and getting the ingredients for a cake, I was told I'd never amount to anything and received my first quest point on the account, along with some cooking XP. After that, I ran upstairs to talk to Duke Horatio to start rune mysteries, as it's a requirement for a few different tasks. The Duke gave me an air talisman, which I traded Sedrador for a package to take through the violent streets of Varrock to Aubrey, who gave me research notes to take back to Sedrador, who thanked me by allowing me into the Essence Mines, giving me 2 more quest points and an air talisman. I immediately teleported to the Essence Mines to knock out another task and check to see what I could do next. Let me know if you guys noticed something wrong about what I'm about to do. There's a couple things. So I decided the next task I'd complete is entering the Ham hideout west of Lumbridge, but as you're about to see, I'm not having much luck with it. If you're thinking to yourself, I'm pretty sure you can't pick that lock at level 1. Ding ding ding, you're right. Well, I'm sure it could be possible through some crazy RNG, but unfortunately it didn't work in my favor this time. See, what I didn't realize is that every time you fail to pick the lock on this door, your thieving level goes down by 1, as hinted by the text, you fail to pick the lock, your fingers get numb from fumbling with the lock. Which basically means, for 3 attempts, I tried picking this lock with level 0 thieving. Like I said before, my game knowledge isn't great, but that's what this series is for. After finally giving up, I decided to head to Varrock to complete some of those tasks. But, hold up, am I missing something? Nah, I'm good. On my way, I decided to try my luck at killing this Impling to see if I could get a bead to save myself some time in the future if I decided to do Imp-Catcher, but I just got a jug and some ashes. But hey, free strength and prayer XP, so I can't complain. Next, I killed a chicken for its bones and carefully avoided the dark mages outside of Varrock so I could give this good boy a treat for my first easy task. Then I fought with this door so I could have Aubrey send me to the Essence Mine for my second Varrock task. After which, I went to check out Thessalia's fine clothes store where I noticed a piece of silk that I could use later for one of the arty tasks. After this, I went up to Benny to see how much a newspaper would run me, and with an 80 GP total cost between the silk and newspaper, I ran down to the Blue Moon Inn to pickpocket this woman until I got 81 GP. With my pockets full of someone else's money, I ran back up to buy the silk from Thessalia and a newspaper from Benny. I didn't know this thing actually had ads and obituaries, but hey, more you know. Next on the list was getting a normal plank from the sawmill, so I grabbed my axe, chopped down a tree, ran up to the sawmill, and found out I needed 100 GP to make a plank. So I ran back to Blue Moon Inn and started pickpocketing the woman outside again. But this time she wised up to me and I was down to 2 HP before I was able to get 100 GP. In order to save time and embarrassment, I decided to go do something safer and grab my pickaxe to go mine some ore to sell to the shop. I don't feel like dying to pickpocketing. After a mini heart attack incurred by the giant rat that protects this mine, I filled up my inventory, got level 6 mining, and ran back to sell these precious ores to the Varrock General Store. Oh man. Alright, oh, that went poorly. That was a waste. I didn't think I'd only get 6 GP from a full inventory of ore. Emotionally defeated, I decided to go to the Barbarian Village and complete the Stronghold for my free 10k. I loaded up my inventory with all my food, yes, all my food, and dropped down to the first level and completed it with no problems. I just want to pause here for a second. You see this room up here? Well, most of you probably already know, but in this room you can collect cooked meat and beer for free food that you can take with you down to the Stronghold. I know this room exists, I've been in it before, but it wasn't until I was watching a video by Solo Mission while editing this video when I was reminded that this room exists. You'll see why this is important in a little bit. When I got to the second level, I didn't even realize that I'd gotten an achievement. Apparently, I overlooked that entering the second level of the Stronghold was an easy task in the Varrock Diary. Wait, what was the achievement I did? Oh. So I did get an achievement. Alright, cool. Alright. Oh, I didn't actually realize that was an achievement. Good thing it was an easy one. Luckily, this time it was only an easy task, one I had to complete anyway. But that actually made me realize just how careful I need to be while doing this challenge. If that had been a medium task for whatever reason, I would have failed the challenge in the first couple hours of even attempting it. But since that didn't happen, I kept pressing on after double checking that I wouldn't accidentally complete a medium task for going further. After collecting my second reward from the Stronghold, I dropped down to the third level. I knew this would be the first level where I actually had to be careful. The monsters are much higher levels and they hit harder than the ones on the second level. I just wanted to complete this level for now and get the full 10k, and afterwards I'd come back later and get the boots. But as soon as I stepped to the first door, this happened. Holy shit. Oh my god. It's so embarrassing. I died to a small spider. Not even one of the big red spiders that I definitely knew to stay away from. It hit me for a 6, and then while I was entering the door to the safe room, it hit me for a 4 and I died. After going through the dialogue with death, I made my way back to collect my items, this time sure to be careful of all the spiders in the first room. And while standing in the next room, debating if I wanted to try and run across to the next door, I got attacked again and decided it was better to just take my 5k and leave for now, before wasting any more time running back to loot my own gravestone again. Now that I had some starter cash, I ran back to the bank to grab my log and made my way back to the sawmill. After completing the task for the plank, I attempted to cut down the dying tree in the lumberyard for another task when I realized I didn't have my axe. So I ran back to the bank, grabbed my axe, and chopped the dying tree for the task. And a log. Things were going well for me at this point. Regardless, next on the list was stealing a cup of tea from the tea stall in Varrock, which requires 5 thieving, so I pickpocketed the man south of the bank and then robbed the tea stall for another easy task. Done with Varrock for now, I made my way over to Falador where I gave Greg a little haircut. Not really digging the bald look on Greg, I had the hairdresser work his magic to grow back Greg's original hairstyle. Then I grabbed my bucket to fill up at this water fountain, murdered a duck in Falador Park, and perused Sarah's farming shop for 3 more quick tasks. Since I was already near Port Sarim, I talked to some monks to take me to Entrana and got a security book from the guard upstairs in the Port Sarim jail for 2 more tasks. For Greg's next great adventure, I decided to try my luck in the desert to see how many of those tasks I could complete. I made my way down to Shanty to buy some desert robes and a pass to complete the first task before realizing I needed a knife and an empty water skin to complete another easy task. Not wanting to make another unnecessary trip, I double-checked to see if there was anything else I'd need before heading back into the desert. Now that I was fully equipped, I started cutting cacti to try and fill my water skin for another achievement. One thing I didn't take into account was that the animals in the desert would be aggressive to me since I'm still a very low combat level, and, well... Oh my god, I'm gonna die again. Oh my god! Yep. Death number 2. And I don't have any coins to get back over. Fuck. Needing 15 coins to get through both the Alcarid Gate and Shanty Pass to retrieve my items, I started killing a goblin before figuring it would probably be faster to just pickpocket 15 GP. When I got back to my gravestone, a camel and a wolf were both closely guarding my items, but I just decided to send it and quickly skedaddled back to safety before thinking it was a good idea to continue trying to cut cacti for water. Since I was getting woodcutting XP for doing this, I'm pretty sure I should just raise my woodcutting level before coming back and attempting this again. I ended up failing 5 more times before calling it quits and teleporting back to Lumbridge. And that's where my adventure stopped for the day. At least for this video. As you can see, I've got a long way to go before completing all of the easy tasks, let alone completing every task in the game. In this episode, you really got to see just how much I really don't know about the game, but that's okay. The goal of this series is to get better, and you'll see throughout the next episodes that I do. These first few episodes were already recorded from a 24-hour stream I did on my Twitch channel. I probably won't do another 24-hour stream for a while, but I'll still stream from time to time. It'll probably mostly just be me training on my main or grinding skills on this account to get myself set up for future tasks, but feel free to stop in and say hi. Anyway, that's all for this episode. In the next episode, I'll be doing some quality of life improvements for Greg along with completing a few more tasks. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time.